Little Mike, Ryan here, Mike's little boy. And of course we've got Isabel and Ione. Swing around here and get a little shot of the old lady.
I'll tell you though, my dick was up. I can't ever hear. Yes, I'm not asking, can I just sit again now? I'll bet the ice was deep.
We never had so much ice when we come.
I don't ever have that much ice. Ever. It was just, I'll tell you, I took my car. Frank and Becky had gone to some meeting. And I took
That's right, isn't it?
I had to go get Amy to take
That's
care
right,
of her.
isn't it? You're on camera. Camera's coming.
So when I started out,
He's taking pictures of her long
Becky Ingalls,
started out, you know,
Mrs. Jim Vernon Downing,
I had to walk back to the house. Okay.
Say
Mrs.
something pretty so you know it's
Vernon
fine.
Dunran.
I'll just keep talking.
These are so neat.
Tell them who it is.
It's a nice thing that
Well, there's that real attractive looking Sharon Fear, whom, you know, we just
Minneapolis, Minnesota over here.
enjoyed her charm, for sure. And the little blonde girl, I don't know,
Kelly Fear. Standing in the second
what's her name?
Kelly.
Kelly Fear. Okay. It looks like a little movie star from Hollywood there. They're moving over to the next one here. Look this way, honey. Smile. What's her name?
Nikki Downey.
Okay.
Related to Richard Downey.
Well, I can zoom in. Hmm? Well, probably not.
Mother, look.
Gotcha.
What are you talking about?
I was talking to Vern. He should.
Which politician? Which politician? You're looking at a politician. You gotta be a good one, right? You gotta run there.
Joey, take a look this way. Hey, Frank. You're on TV, Frank. Armin.
Candid camera, huh?
Yeah, candid camera.
Hey, Mike.
Mike.
You got me already, I think.
Looking good in that hat there.
You like that, huh?
Oh yeah. We're taking a picture now, for the most part, of Ray Fear's farm and his house and some of the company that we had for his party. This is June 12th, 1988. The time here is 10 after 4. Temperature is about, this is taken from the living room looking out toward the road in an easterly direction from Mayfair's house. Real nice looking lawn and yard area. We got a couple of boys out here playing catch. We're now looking at the farmstead of the Victor farm where we lived back in the 50s. Then we moved away in 1959. Today is June 13th. The time is 12:31. This is the old barn where we used to bring the cows across from the pasture, which is directly behind me, into this old barn. This is the front driveway as we pan along here. I'm going to find a little better angle to catch the house just behind the trees, so we'll move up a little bit. The pictures that we just took before from a distance, we were taking with the camera set on indoor by mistake. I'm wondering how that'll turn out. I just had the presence of mind to change it now. Okay. Turning around and looking directly behind where I was filming is what used to be the pasture. They now have it planted into crop, grain crop. In fact, looks like it's planted into wheat right now. As we swing along here, we get a picture of part of the land that we farmed, which is across the road from the building site. There's 120 acres out in this direction and 80 acres where the farm buildings are. Looking way off in the distance at this angle now is where the 40 acre field was. A picture of the little old chicken house and the big machine shed that's built behind it wasn't there when we lived there. But the little chicken house, I'll zero in on it, was where we had our chickens. And we have movies of the chickens that were around this little building. It's amazingly old and small. It seems so different from when we lived there. As we zoom along, we see the new big machine shed that the Smiths built. And as we come around this way, there's a big metal building that wasn't there. And this building here was once a corn crib. I'll zoom back in here. This is the building in the corn crib that Chrissy says that she climbed up on to escape the dog that was after her. Right there. That's the one right there. There's a lot of trees that are growing up here, which kind of obstructs the view. You really can't get... Mrs. David D. Smith was nice enough to let us come on her yard. She lives here now. and let us do some filming from the yard. What you're seeing there is the old hog house that Les Gillette built, and there's the old pump shed where we had our bulk cooler at one time. And as we move along, we'll get a shot of the barn. The car you see in the lower left belongs to Ione Engels. She was nice enough to lend that to us to drive around with. Continuing to scan on around, we'll see the spot where we used to have our gas fuel barrel. I have one here too. And this is the garage. Excuse me. Where we kept our car. Okay, we're continuing on to going around and facing the west and southwest. I'll see a general scan of the yard. There again in the background is the corn crib that Chris escaped from the dog. Now we're looking at Mom and Mrs. David DeSmith, who was nice enough to allow us to come and film this yard. Nice people. Can you folks wave at us a little bit? You're on TV. There is the tree where we had the big swing on. We have movies of Mark and Chris swinging on the big tall swing on the tree that we're looking at right now. And as we come around, we get a shot of the house from this angle. This is another angle of the house looking toward the northeast on the same tree where the swing was on. And the little yard. They don't have the outhouse anymore. They have built-in plumbing now, indoor toilet. The outhouse was out in the same direction where we're looking right now. Thank God we got rid of that. We're now looking from the south toward the north and toward the barnyard. And we get another shot of the house. And we'll zoom in a little bit on that. How many in the family want to hurry up and move back here? Lovely place. Lovely place. This is the old house we lived in back in the 30s, I guess. Moved here, I think, in about 1937. It's called the Old Anderson House. And it's the house here is where my dad and 6 of the members of my family lived. Way back in the old days. A little 2-bedroom house. Sure is an old shack now. With some other buildings and a trailer house. I guess some people live here now. The old barn is gone. They put a metal building in the silo there. Some deal. is the place where Mom and I first lived when we were first married, what we called the Hoffman Farm. It was once owned by VandenBroeke. And we're taking it from the road, try to get a little zoom in on the house. We had it pretty nice here. There was a lot of room in that house, and bedrooms upstairs and downstairs, and we had more room than we knew what to do with. Brings back some happy memories. Back in the fall of 1951. Right now it's June 13th, 1988. That's about all we can say about this place. Some of the buildings have been... Right, you're on TV. Yeah, Ray and Isabel, Kim. You're going to get a little bit of a closer up shot of these two girls. And then Raymond. Say hi, Raymond. Yeah. All right. We're now about to leave Ray and Izzy, and we appreciate their hospitality. It's the 14th of... Okay, we are now looking at Ione Engel's farm. It is the 15th of June on Wednesday at 12:44. This is a picture of her house with a two-car attached garage. I can get a little close-up of Ione and her two grandchildren. The two grandchildren are from her daughter Margaret, and they are Korean. They are adopted, two little girls, Korean. Nicole and I forget the other one's name. What is the little girl's name?
Nicole and Natalie.
And Natalie, that's right. Nicole and Natalie. Can you girls wave for the camera? Can you wave at us? Say bye-bye? That's a good girls. Okay, and flash by went the dog named Frosty. Okay. Now we're going to get a shot of some of the other related buildings. As we can say, we're just leaving the perimeter of their house. And make a nice even pan here toward the hog house and the barn with the silo, and we turn around going toward the east, and the driveway goes out from the house toward the east. And what we're looking at is some of their cropland. And we come over here to look at one of their old farm-all tractors that they don't use anymore, hardly. Maybe once in a while for a little chore. And we got some of the machine sheds and buildings here. Now we're facing north. And to the northwest. This little house you're going to think is an old-fashioned outhouse, but it isn't. It isn't. Ione says it's a little tool shed they keep some of their gardening tools in. Now as we go around here toward the backyard, it's a lovely, lovely grove of trees and beautiful conifers, pine or spruce, whatever they are. Continuing on, looking at her backyard, if you can call it a lawn, it's a very large grassy area with a nice beautiful grove behind her house. And we're coming on around from the west, looking back at the back side of the house. This is a lovely area. They use a little mower that you ride on to mow the grass and keep everything looking nice. Okay. Just looking at the house from the north angle. Back around to the car that she was so nice to let us use. That's the car that we drove around with, that Ione allowed us to use while we were vacationing. There's Grandma loading up. Okay, it's June 16th. The time is almost 10 o'clock. And we're at the Don Fear residence where we stayed over last night. And of course, there's a picture of Mrs. Fear and Grandma. And they want to get a kind of a shot of their nice home. Yeah. Okay, smile pretty. We're going to zoom right in on you.
Boy. There, how's that?
That's perfect. Yeah.
Got my mouth open.
Okay.
So you should take some of them.
What are you walking about here?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Kind of hard to look, but
Yeah. That's June 17th on a Friday, and the time is 11:46. And we're looking at Tom and Tom Giefer's home on the farm. He's got a
you have,
nice home and then a picnic area over here.
you have to say that again? I see.
Okay, we're looking out toward Tom's barn and machine shed and the various farm machinery he has. Looks like a nice swatter over there, I believe that's what it's called. A number of tractors. There's a little old H, is that right, Tom? That's a lot like the tractor I had when I was on the farm. So we will zero in on that. Bring it in a little closer. Mm-hmm. It has a zoom lens, Tom, which helps us to bring things in from a little farther away.
I'll get some of them out anyway.
All right.
There, how's that?
That looks good, Tom. Great, thanks. This is some of Tom's feeder pigs and some of the sows. The mama pigs and their baby pigs. Yeah. This is Tom's feeding arrangement here. Can you give us a little wave there, Tom? Give us a little wave over there. Okay. All right, thanks.
Dryer, that's my drying bin, and the dryer is right over on the other side of the tractor if you wanted to get a picture of it.
Oh, yes. And if we're taking a picture of this International now, can you tell us a little something about that?
Well, that's about 130 horsepower tractor, and it's about 30 horse more than what I had, the other one, the big one.
It's powered by diesel fuel?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Diesel.
Mm-hmm.
There's a
How many
turbo.
plows will that pull?
That'll pull 5 nicely.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
And we're moving along over to the little old Super H.
yeah, and that
That's
does all the yard work and
mm-hmm.
runs the elevators and choring in the yard. I mean, you know,
Mm-hmm. And it's one like I had when I was on the farm. This was
just exactly.
really my pride and joy there.
Yep.
It's kind of gone back to yesteryear, huh?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
in the swath, you know.
I'll say that again.
You don't have to cut it and rake your hay. You can, it cuts it and puts it in a swath, and it's ready for the baler then.
Mm-hmm. Works real well, huh?
Yeah,
What brand is that one?
versatile.
Versatile.
Yeah, right. You see that?
Is that made in Canada?
Yep.
All right. Oh, that's a nice piece of machinery.
Yeah, that's I like to run that better than anything. It seems like it's a 15-foot swath that it cuts, and
I never had it.
You might say where this steel post is right there, or I could stand there and show you. I mean,
Yeah, stand over there and tell us about it.
Point to where he went swimming in here, right there.
Tom was showing us the swimming pool where he says Jordy was over here and went swimming with the kids in this little pond. And they had a diving board where he just pointed that out. So this might bring back some memories to some of the kids who were here and went swimming. This is just south of the house, and yeah, we got the dog in there taking a swim. We'll zero in on him there a little bit. He went for a dip.
There's a whole school of little fish right here. There is bullhead.
Authorized one for a payment and a half and everything else. You heard that they got tranquilizers now. You know, you break them in half and you eat one. That gives you a piece of mind. You shove it up in your ass and they give you a piece of mind.
Tom, tell me what about the woman that had all those troubles that guy didn't feel sick of his wife.
Yeah.
What was that,
The
Tom?
guy was talking about his wives, and said he wasn't getting one lately, and she tried it. She got gonorrhea, and so he turned it over. He's gonna try it that way, and she had diarrhea. So he was trying to try it in her mouth, and then she had diarrhea. Another guy said, well, why don't you get rid of her? And he said, well, I'm a fisherman. He said, well, what's that got to do with it? A fisherman got nothing to do with that. Yeah, he said she got one.
Oh my God. I think that's the time it's right. Throw the canyons. Leonard, thank you. That's a good drink.
Did you like it? Yeah.
You bet I like it.
You don't want to take another one.
My God, that was real smooth.
I would think so.
You don't burn them.
Lots of milk is
No, you don't burn them. I don't like them burnt. Burn them? Oh, he knows how to mix them. He's from California, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you do, Leonard.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
You go to California to get your degree, you know.
When we was out there, you know, they took us to the pizza parlor. Tammy and Leonard took us to the pizza parlor. I never forgot it. They're making the pizza right there.
Oh,
You watch them making it, all them guys. And Jesus Christ, picture of beer, you know, that big ice cold
Graduated
pizza.
from college then?
Beautiful, beautiful,
Graduated
beautiful.
from college then?
Excuse me.
Still a cold
No, I don't think so.
Never seen that since I left California. The deal like you had out there, you took us in that pizza parlor there. Sunnyvale, was it, or Mount Sunnyvale?
No, Peter.
Jesus, they had them all, the guys there, big, you know, hats on, making pizza, flipping around. And we was drinking beer there, big pitchers, ice cold. Never forgot that place.
Yeah.
That's gone long enough.
Everybody likes pizza.
Pizza and beer.
Yeah, here goes.
Kathleen, is there anything I can do? I'm gonna throw a little cheese on it, I'm gonna put a cover on it, and then stand it.
Yes, I liked it out there, but
I can't hear you. What did you say?
I was telling Mom I didn't know you did all that stuff that you were telling me about today.
Doing all what stuff?
Building them cars and putting all that stuff together.
Oh, yeah, the mechanics had it tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you have to, you know. Took everything to the garage food making, you know. I do all, put all my own influence. Air compressor and air fluids, you know. Mix the job.
save a lot of money.
Yeah.
Changing oil in your car saves a lot of money.
I don't know how I could do that.
Well, you go downtown, it's 14 bucks to change oil and filters. I can do it for a third. Crawl under and take the filter out.
believe it.
Why do I have Bob?
I gotta change it on one construction. Well, the biggest one takes a case.
Diesel.
Yeah.
We were converting one construction with a diesel, and then the fire guy, he
DT
came there and
466,
standing around
if
his
you
finger
know
up his ass,
what they
trying to get
got,
what to do.
you know.
Well,
It's an
well,
inline
I think
six.
I'll do it.
That's about 6.7, 6.8 liter.
And you put that engine in
No.
there alone, and then
I
when
think the
we
guy
were
with the
helping
school
out,
buses
and
there,
they had all
Yeah,
the
it's something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know how he did it.
Big
I don't
six.
know how he did that either. I don't either. Tell him how he did it.
How'd you do
Yeah,
that?
tell us how you did that, Larry. Show us.
Well, it's kind of a challenge. It was about the biggest challenge I've had in fabricating, you know, made the mounts for the engine. Had to
Change the
realign the
engine and
radiator.
diesel.
Took out a gas engine, put a diesel engine in all the trucks. You had to get all of the linkage just about right. Had to drill the bell housing, so the transmission had Part 5 transmission, and had to be matched and drilled, the depth of the throw, the clutch throughout there, and all that had to be engineered down to, well, about 10,000 an inch is what I heard. So you had to proper throw, because the one thing, the bell housing was about half as deep, so you had a hell of a lot to go by. And I had to weld them off to the space cylinder and place it. Everything had to match up together.
And we start changing.
Yeah, you know, you take
A lot of
something,
things.
and it can be out or back or forward or back or something to get the right throw. on the
Right.
clutch. Yeah, so it's a lot of measuring and calculating. But a little at a time to work out, you know. Just think it through first and then.
Why did you change it?
Well, because the gas engine was,
Oh, I
5,000 gallon.
Yeah.
With that
You really want to be
394.
simple there.
The diesel I'm getting 10 bucks. So the pain's going to go off now. I bought that engine for 5,000 bucks.
I always do anything.
It's about a $15,000 engine now. You get a new one, going up by months and stuff. You might do a good deal and get one for 10.
Yeah, that's good
Gas
gas.
guy to sell this one so damn bad.
New gas, not rebuilt. I put in my.
Brand new.
1,600 put in. Yeah, you're talking diesel.
Don got picked.
Well, they ain't cheap. That's what you got in that tractor out there. You know what they got in the school buses now? 560 diesel engine.
Those ones that played in the band, which boys that played
Yep,
that.
that was a good engine. You had one.
I got one.
You got it? They're good. And they took that engine. But of course they changed, you know.
Crazy over the showed everybody.
But that was a 560 international. Sure. Diesel engine. Yeah. I asked about it. They said that's a 560 engine in it. Good engine, see.
What kind, cat or?
No, international.
Oh, international.
560 international tractor. They use that same engine in these school buses. I asked this guy, they said 560 engine. Oh, I said, I know them, boy, they was good ones.
Yeah.
You bet they're good ones. Tough. Yeah, that's what they got in them. They had, you know, I don't, now they got, like Leonard says, these other ones, you know, coming out with these
Well,
sixes.
you know, this in the Susu had, the truck has power steering, so in order to make this power steering work too, there's some engineering needed to readjust the
You gotta
lines.
change everything. See a different block.
I made a container to hold the power steering, you know, most of them got a little quart can, I put a gallon can on it. A nice new,
When you start switching from gas to
you
diesel,
turn that sucker
oh,
off once a year, and then you got a little power steering fluid, you'll never need it. So those things kinda like that were handy. They had the clutch throw out on the forks down to the slave cylinder. It was made in such a clumsy manner that you can't adjust it, so I re-engineered that. Now it's easy to adjust it. But I went through each step like that and
That's what I like when I have.
put my own ideas into it and engineered it and made it so I said that's the way the factory should have done it. In the first place, make it easy, so I did that. Instead of, you know how that little nut is swallowed inside of that curved nut on some of those throw-out yokes? Damn thing was inside of that other one. I just threw that away and started over so that you could get out of a nice big nut and let those wrenches and lock it easy. You didn't have to try to get around like that. They make things
Oh,
it took a long time. But
they had to work on them, these engineers, they never make them out.
I work on them, so
You really got it right.
each time finally come to a step like that where they hide the slave cylinder way down there, I put the slave cylinder up there, made it, instead of having the yoke go straight this way, it's coming up on this way, and the slave cylinder's up there. Stuff like that.
Oh,
You know.
since I've been in that apartment building, there's supposed to be smart guys do that. Contractors, this and that, plumbers, whatever you wanna say. Since I've been in there, all the goddamn blunders they made.
Yeah.
It's terrific. Blunders, that's all they do. I ain't forgotten more than all about it.
Well,
I ain't just an old farmer.
I run into that problem too.
Yeah,
Take it over.
so many dumb things. Yep, all that. Well, look at International when they come out. Dad brought that tractor. The disc had to take back. The television had to take back. The front end on the tractor had to take back. All goofed up. Every damn one of them.
No, they can mess up things for you.
Why in the hell didn't they check it out before they sent it out to the farm? They didn't do it though. But the company paid for it. Remember that? The disc out here busted that wing, that flat plate. That wasn't heavy enough. They put that on there. The front end wasn't high enough. Plugged up the front end. So they put a goddamn spacer in there, running up in the air. And the elevator that was busting these, what's the problems all the time, the pipes. So they changed that. They brought that all out there, and they had to take it all back. Well, you'd think they had to check that out, test it, before they sent it out there to the farm. They didn't do it. So that's how smart they are. And in that place there, they put the, over the goddamn laundry, they run the damn pipes up the wall out there, and then they come over and then they went out to the center. The goddamn water.
Oh, okay.
I said, don't you know, cold and heat makes moisture? Well, God almighty, they're architects. They're supposed to know something. And I try to tell the big shops in the cities, I try to tell them, what to do. Oh, I don't know nothing. By God, finally he got a carpenter, he thought he was gonna know. He didn't know. He went to Whoppers and talked to me. And Hanson come back, told Cal, and I've been telling him that for a long time, how to do it. No, I don't know nothing. So God damn it, here they come back. Meade said every damn, he had to go by the architect too, by the Meade said everyone we changed. Take them son of bitches off there. And Betsy, the heat's going out of your dryer up here. All right, then you got cold air, 30 blow up there. What do you got? Hot and cold moisture. Run them down. Come through the goddamn ceiling. Ruin the ceiling. Saying they ruined the ceiling. So then he ran them off the side.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, you're fine.
I'm looking to drink.
Oh,
I tried to tell
yeah,
him.
it's fun. Yeah, I sweat now.
That wasn't exactly simple.
Yeah.
She didn't. They know, but she didn't know.
Do you wanna take those
God damn.
papers home and
Things like that.
off and you can
A
send
lot of
them?
things, they didn't know. They didn't know on the roof was leaking. The son of a bitch is rough, that front roof was big.
Your mom couldn't copy off.
I told him, why the hell don't you put them stuffers down, the drain, down, so the water can get off? Sitting there this deep. I said, well, let's get a rod and reel or get a boat up here, we'll go fishing. One of the guys from Fargo, see,
Where are those papers?
couldn't get
I
that
see
through
them
their
on
damn
top of the
head.
book.
Find out some, they lowered it.
There, I think. I didn't
Like
No
know.
trouble left.
On the 560 last summer, I had a frost bug go off in the front. I didn't know there was one in the front too. It didn't know, it was right back in the radiator. And we had to take that old tractor apart, split that tractor to get that in there. Yeah, you
You wanted to put that there. Put it on the side,
Yeah,
and then you can get at it,
yeah, right, yeah.
like the cars, you know.
Well, I didn't have no.
They got them on cars, the same thing.
Yeah, Green, I thought you meant the little boy that won the medals.
No,
Cars,
no.
the same
That
thing.
was the articles, yeah.
Ah,
Why didn't they put them on the side?
Yeah, well, they are so, they are on the side, but there's one.
I know, I say, they didn't
Yeah,
do
why
that.
didn't they put the wall? Yeah, they didn't get the other one, I was thinking rust.
You know, the goddamn water jacket.
That's what I
She
thought.
did
Why
it.
didn't they put a brass one in there when they put it in there? They would've lasted.
Left it out.
Yeah, I rusted out. It cost me a couple $100.
For nothing, for nothing.
Yeah.
Nathan.
That's what I'm talking about. No excuse for
Yes,
that.
that's what I thought you meant.
No excuse at all for that.
Well,
That's
why don't you
engineers.
take those and
Most
I
of
just
them.
go to Belmont and
They don't know
I
what
like
to do.
those
Yeah,
myself.
I know it. They want you to work, I mean, spend money on fix, you know.
That's a
see this guy?
No, I didn't.
The little boy that was here today, was he here? He won medals.
Oh, yeah, I seen it up here, had it up
Yeah, it
here.
was up here.
I seen it on the wall here, yeah.
You
Yeah,
got another ashtray there?
that's all right, that's okay. No,
Yeah, I had one here.
we got
fine.
some, no, we
Yeah.
got some.
We had two of them today, so.
Quarter after 11.
Well, I washed them, what, where'd you put it here?
Quarter after 11.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I'm in bed at 7.
Seven.
Quarter after.
Oh, yeah?
Well, you'll be shocked to know.
Call around and have the news.
Yeah.
No, I'm in bed 7
Do
to
you
8.
want something instead?
No. Oh.
I'm already in
Well,
bed here myself.
Well, you.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah,
I
I
wonder
got
what
you
it
stairs.
was for tree and
Yeah.
stack.
4 o'clock I was up.
This morning?
Eat.
He's the one that was gonna stay in bed though.
Well, I woke up, see, I was
Travel.
ready.
Did you get you up?
Should I get up and have the toast and milk?
Did you
and-
up?
He told him the night before, he said, I'll stay in bed till you come. I said, yeah, I know you do. So 4 o'clock he's up.
When I woke up, I'm under that.
I think he saw that.
Excited
Oh, he
about
saw
it.
that.
No, I wasn't. I'm excited about that.
Did you see this one of the fish?
Yeah,
Yeah, we saw.
Yeah, he brought it, oh.
Yeah, I knew we were excited about the trip, that's why you woke up at 4. Sure.
Oh, I went to bed early.
Go to bed better.
When you know you're gonna travel, don't you
Well,
get
sure
excited?
did go to bed last night early.
Huh?
That's at 7:30.
When you know you're going for this, don't you get excited?
Uh-uh. Right, I've been down here before.
That's why you couldn't sleep.
Then we took that over. Stick my finger in there. No, I wasn't worried about nothing. I just
No, we're excited about it. Excited.
wasn't excited though.
We're excited about seeing him now.
Oh, was I? Oh, yeah.
He was anxious, not nervous.
Well, I'm awake every morning at 4 or 5 o'clock.
I know that you were ready to stop off where you go.
What, you ready yet?
She wasn't there yet. Jimmy, Simon.
I came at 5:30.
Yeah.
Supposed to be
Half
at
an
6.
hour early.
Yeah, she was,
Well,
no.
I figured you'd be ready.
I was ready. I was sitting at the table waiting, fiddling around with my fingers.
And wake me up ready.
He wasn't excited.
Hell no, I wasn't
I should
excited.
tell Stanley, I didn't tell them that story about that guy from whiskey with the beard. You know, only if he was growing a beard, you know. Anyway, his wife was looking out the window all the time at the outhouse, you know. And she never say a word to her, and just kept looking out. So he thought, well, better go out there and put a new roof on it or something for her, you know. And that didn't help. She just kept staring out the window and talked to her. And so I thought, well, put a new door on, maybe that's what's the matter with it, you know, new door. God, that didn't help either, she just kept staring out the window and didn't say a word to her. Finally, we thought, well, there must be something wrong inside, you know, so he went in there and stuck his head in the hole to see if it was full, you know, and when he come up, he caught that damn big beard of his in them little hairline cracks. And about that, he was trying to get it out, and about that time she walked by and she said, isn't that frustrating?
I guess it would be. You know what we did with him one night? He wasn't with me that night.
Oh, what a Presbyterian face was running.
I bet you know we did.
I wouldn't, have no idea. We could sure try it. I've never been that way. Would you like me to make you one to see? Okay.
Yeah. So the back, you know, the cut was.
It feels like a piece of shit when you're brushing my teeth. My mouth feels like shit.
Oh, that ain't.
From smoking. Ugh.
I got some mints.
No, I'll brush my teeth.
That'll clear it up.
So I gotta go brush my teeth.
The vodka 7 is a good drink, and this is just a modified.
Oh,
Really.
that movie.
Vodka 7.
You know, sit down and take a leak.
Yeah?
You try it. I wonder if, yeah, I'll try with the lime too. I don't go all the way with it.
Well, what's it called? Winston's people out there one time, we went out with the cows. They had a cow, you know, we brought it
There's
right
the
up.
drop.
You remember? So that goddamn kid said, that's a cow. Get on. Son of a bitch, cow took off. That goddamn kid, he flew over there. Put it on his neck. Boy, you never got out of that car, did you?
The cameras on here.
You're looking here.
Look
You know,
right,
oh,
look
yeah,
right here, so then you can see what the
You know,
taping on. Tom and Mark. That's what he showed to you. Them two together.
Goddamn lipstick catch it off.
Martin's really gonna pick up.
No, the other one was younger, that died. That was the John
Try
Robert.
that and see if it's not as sweet as your normal.
That's okay, I always like a little sour in mine if I have it. A lot of times I put sour in it if I've got it.
Right, yeah, so it isn't quite as sweet, and that cuts the sweetness on it some. You alright? Yeah.
It's
You can
very
have
good.
7 or a little club soda, whichever you balance you like it better. Yeah.
Very good.
Biddy, you ever been in this position?
Now what's that?
You can't have arthritis and do that.
Well, you soak your head, that'll get you soft.
Makes it hard to think ahead.
You see what, how much trouble he had there?
She was smoking the same one.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. She's out there, yeah.
When you start out, it's
Oh.
It's good, it's good, but down, you just forget. It's really.
That one, when she's drying her hair, I think, got her leg up, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you betcha.
Has she ever been arrested? Yes, no.
That teacher also two little nigger boys to make a subject of all the words before. And they couldn't think of nothing, finally that one little nigger boy said 2 and 2 before.
So then I would like to know that the little nigger woman was upstairs, you know, on about the second floor. She looked out the window. She seen a little white boy. She was constipated. She got a little white boy running down the street. You heard it.
No, I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, a little white boy was running down the street. The nigger lady said, "Come here." So the little white boy went up there. "What do you want, nigger lady?" She said, "I want you to give me an animal." Animal? He'd never give nobody an animal. He said, "I don't know how to do that." "Don't worry, the old nigger lady." She pulled her goddamn dress up and her pants down. He said, "Shove that syringe," she had it already, "shove that syringe in that little black hole." The little boy looked. "How could I miss?" He said, "The other hole I can sweat down with a bucket." And I could see that little white boy. He looked. "My God," he said, "how could I miss?" The other hole I can sweat down with a bucket. God darn buggers.
Yeah, boy.
He was a son of a gun, wasn't he?
Hey, you're rocking
He
about
knew. He knew what the hell he was doing.
Yeah.
Oh, I can see him. I can see that little fella. Look. Oh, you big. Oh.
I gotta tell you a joke, Eddie, about, this little Jew boy was, landed from Israel on the streets of.
Damn, he got a nose. What is that his name?
The story is about this little Jew boy that came over from Israel and he landed on the streets of New York and he hardly knew money at all. But he found the dime, so he went out and bought nickels worth of shoestrings and nickels worth of pencils. And he sold them, doubled his money, bought some more and stuff like that.
I can see that bastard come out.
And he's walking up and down the street, you know, and he's saying, you know, shoestrings, pencils, shoestrings, pencils. He's making a little money,
Yeah,
not
we should
very
go
much.
through this one
And
and
finally,
regular ones, because some of these are the
Mexican
same.
old lady.
Yeah, that you always-
from the second story, she said, "Hey, Jew boy,
Put 'em in.
Jew boy, come up here." Second story. He said, "Boy, she wants to buy shoestrings and pencils for sure." You know? And he gets up there and she says, "Get your pants on, boy, you know, go to work." And he said, "Oh, no, I never would do that, never do that." She said, "If you don't do it, I'll call the police." He said, "Oh my God, I don't want to go to jail. You know how it is in the whole country. You do something else, you go to jail, and they can never get out." So he's real scared. So he gets undressed and he gets in bed with her. gets back out, and she said, you do a nice job, you're good too, boy, here's $20. She said, expecting the pocket, well, he's all smiles. Next morning, he's going down the street, he's in pencils, shoestrings, fucking $20.
I always had to laugh at the one, this guy was standing in the street corner, pulling his fingers through a black hair. You heard that, didn't you? No. Well, this guy was in Minneapolis, 5th and Broadway, I guess. He was standing in the street corner pulling his fingers through his black hair. Jesus Christ, pretty soon he had a crowd around there. They wonder what the hell he's doing. My God, here come the cops.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that,
Cop
but
says,
you just have to take that one route.
I don't know what you're doing, he said, but you're blocking the traffic. He just kept on pulling his fingers through the black hair, and the cop walked away. Figured he'd leave. Shit, he didn't leave. The cops come back. Say, by the way, what the hell are you doing? He said, I'll tell you, copper. I always knew how many hairs around an asshole. I mean, black hairs around an asshole. But I never knew how many assholes I could get around this black hair. The cop took off. They never seen him again. Oh boy, he got told. Ooh.
This is a true story I actually heard on TV about this guy who in downtown New York was down on the Champs-Élysées. He was listening to the sidewalk, listening, in downtown New York.
Yeah.
And he was listening, and somebody else come up there and looking at him, they got down and started listening too, Pretty soon there was about a dozen people listening, The first guy said, what do you listen for? What do you hear? He said, as far as I'm concerned, it's quiet. And the first guy says, yeah, it's been that way all day, too. Yeah, right. It's quiet all day, yeah, right.
Oh, boys.
You wanna see that film? Yeah. Better do it now. We can just run what we ran yesterday for Town Farm. Is that what you want to see?
Yeah, I should, yeah.
Give us another couple minutes here and
Yeah, you gonna make another one?
I'll make you another one. And then
Yeah,
we'll
make
do
me
some
one.
more.
That's what I thought.
You like another one?
Yeah, I'm good. Should I come up here?
That's what I said. Whenever anybody passes gas around our place,
My ice is
let
starting to
it
melt,
start
it's
out
getting
with
a little
frogs,
weak.
frogs,
Yeah, it's getting a little
So,
weak.
little
Yeah, when the
frogs
ice
melts. So, then Mary and John were in bed or something, Brooke was there, and John passed one,
Can we get you something?
I got a Mary said, oh John, you pig. Brooke said, no, frogs are
I wanted to see yourself.
I didn't
Others
Yeah,
do.
Yeah, right.
Like Leonard made up that story, whenever somebody didn't even fly, he said the frog in the house.
Oh, yeah.
So Brooke,
They're a lot of fun.
something after being around all the
Yeah,
time,
yeah, I
heard
guess so.
that too.
Then we just
Then
do
when she got home with mom and daddy, my daughter Mary,
Yeah.
John left them in the car.
That's
And
right.
Mary said, oh, you kids around.
That's
Brooke
right.
said,
She
go
did
on the
come
frog.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we sure have
Yeah,
fun
it
with
is.
ours.
Is it the night before Christmas in there?
No. That's a good one. Oh, yeah.
This one wasn't big yet.
Did a catch, he took his thing, a little something.
Yeah, hello, remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
He did that every time too. Come up and have to cut his grain.
Yeah, remember that? You go fishing, you always got a gas and you got a there.
Did you want this fishing?
Them are, for peak loads, they shut off electricity for the winter,
Yeah.
for the peak time. And then them take over.
And where are these at?
Where
Are they electric?
They're electric, yeah. Electric. Them are full of brick, they're full of brick.
Okay.
And there's a fan on it, and there's switch settings for the heat, you know, there, that little knob. Huh?
Did they throw off?
Oh, they threw out a lot
You
of
get the
heat.
bricks off.
Yeah, there's a thermostat there for it.
Never heard of it?
Besides the other electronic.
I got it, yeah.
And that really works wonderful. And we get electricity half price. We got that.
For heating in the house.
Yeah, we got two of them.
Yeah, electric heating, yeah.
We're happy.
I don't know when you want another one there.
We're having electric
You
heat.
want to
Yeah, for that
chair
electric
meeting?
I'll stand
You do a good job, Clyde, boy.
Yeah.
I'm an expert.
Hell, they kept it warm and they're all winter. I mean,
Yeah, that's a good deal. I talked about it when I got home.
for half price, you know.
Told guys about it, you know, and they said, yeah, that's a good deal.
Yeah.
That's some
Read
guys
the meter
about it.
and then they take that.
See, them bricks get hot.
Yeah.
Well, like years ago on the sled,
Sure.
we warmed the big stone up.
Yeah.
Put that in the sled, 7 people on it. Same thing, you only got a fan.
Yeah.
Same
That's
damn
it.
thing.
When it's on
Oh,
three,
this stuff.
that's the highest it goes. You know, you can't sit on it. I mean, it's,
Yeah.
you can just sit on it for about a second or two and then it's.
Same principle.
Yeah.
That's neat though. Save how much electricity.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in Julia.
Oh, yeah, I blew my nose.
Yeah.
I asked my Christian about it. Yeah,
We
that's
just,
good.
just got this, you know, today, and that's, you know, they're a month behind on that, you know. And I, you know, just, when it was warm already, that's how much you saved on the bill there, $43. They took off $43 off of the bill. For that.
Thank you, Leonard. You know, you want to do a good job.
And they take off that.
Put it
And
on.
that's the amount there then.
Oh, that's a hell of a
And that was
saving.
for a warm month, you know, that was from March till April, you know. That's-
Yeah.
In the winter time, you got electric heat?
No.
No, but we've got,
Yeah, that's what they're yeah, we had $500
Before, they done it. You had $500.
Here's what it was at first, and then they took off $43 for the heat. That's from March 20th to April 20th.
Yeah, that's a saving.
Well, this is June now, so it'd be from April 20th to May 20th, because they're a month behind, you know. And, you know, you don't use, we didn't use much heat then, but you can see how much it took off. Yeah, even now in the winter, you know, it's sometimes a couple $100 off. Just
Yeah, I can see it. So you get them bricks hot.
because the bill was $500 a lot of times. You know, the electric heat bill.
Yeah, they get hot. They get hot water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just for the house?
Oh, no, that was the whole
For
fire.
everything.
The whole fire.
Well, I mean, when you
Yeah.
go outside in the winter time.
Huh? I got heat buying.
Oh, I see.
How about our heaters?
$500 a month?
Yeah, over 500. Yeah. I know it's brick heat, you know.
Well, sure, break it.
Right. Then we put this in, this winter was, I don't think it was ever.
Yeah.
Hurry up before we go.
Take off your hat.
Just a little closer.
Mary! What are you doing in here with the kids?
Yeah, I don't have a husband. Well, but you're an auntie, eh?
Here, sit down here. I'll stand up on top.
Get on the table. So they see your legs. Yeah, they'll see them now.
Getting this on the movie now? Yeah.
Yeah.
We will look tomorrow and then we on television.
On KFC.
I don't know if it's the Brady Bunch.
One more, Dad.
Yeah, you got there.
Guys, your camera. Did you get on here, Smiley? There. Kid, us kids. Yay for us, kids. Rock, rock, rock.
Well, good morning, California cousins. This is Joe. This is my farm. I'll just show you around here a little bit quick, then we'll head over to the folks for some coffee and some more pictures. Right over there, you can see the sunlight glaring off that bin. That's the old, that's the Giefer farm right over there. That's where Billy Dice, my neighbor, lives right now. There's nothing too glamorous about my setup here. I have farrow to finish hogs on this place, which means I raise the babies and fatten them out to market weight. I'm just gonna scope over the farm here a little bit. This is from Highway 59. Goes right past my place. This big barn here is where I farrow my pigs. There's my truck. And then that's our little house. The house now, Shirley and my daughter will be leaving shortly. Shirley's got to go to work, and my daughter Laura will be going to daycare. You can see Laura's peeking her head out the window there, I think. No, I guess that's just a picture on the window. This is the Weifels house. The Weifels owns this farm. According to what my mom says, is that Aunt Mary used to come here and help out, clean house and stuff. My son Travis, he's already left for school. He's in first grade this year at Holy Redeemer. I'm in the kitchen here in our house. This is my daughter Laura. Can you say hi, Laura? Put your cap down. This is my wife Shirley. Then this goes into our, I'll just show you our dining room area here. It might not come out too good here. The bright sun is coming through the windows. That's all right.
Daddy, take me. Hey, Dad. Mommy, look at Daddy. Don't take my picture.
This is Laura's baby picture. We're not proud of Laura at all. Well, that's going to be about it from my farm. We're going to head over to the folks and see how they're doing. The reason I got so many clothes on is here in Minnesota, it's about... here we are now over at folks' place, Joe and Anita. This is the house. There's Mom. This is the farm from, I'm standing in front of the shop. It's the old chicken coop there, the white building in front, the machine shed in back. That's our water tank for hauling our water when we're putting on chemicals. Storage bins, the big tall white and blue thing that back there, that's our dryer. And tall bin there, that's a holding bin for when we're drying corn. There's we auger the corn up into the top of that, and then it's augered from there up to the top of the dryer and then into the bins. That's John Clark's fifth wheel sitting there. Friends of the folks, they leave it sit there until they head south. It's our diesel and gas pumps there in the front. In front of Clark's camper now, this big white shed here. That was our silage bunker. It didn't have a top on it, it just had cement walls. We stored our silage in when we were feeding cattle. And about 2 years ago we put a roof over that, and it's used for grain storage now. There's the pole barn and the silos. That's where we fed out all our cattle. And some of the feed bunks. It's hard to see with the sun glaring. They're still here. Pretty much use the pole barn right now as storage for machinery. Someday I hope to maybe feed some cattle over here. Right where I'm standing here, this cement, this is where, I'm sure you can remember the old big red barn was standing. We took that down a couple years ago also. One thing about it, the wind does blow quite often here in Minnesota. Pretty much west right now. Then right down here to the south, you see the grove of trees right there. That's where my Uncle George's farm was. It's been sold. And then across the road there is our neighbors, DeLangs. There comes Dad. He just got home from town. Machinery out now.
I have to show you my new curtains that Shirley made for me a couple weeks ago. Isn't that an improvement in this kitchen? Little tie bags. Not over the sink. I gotta show you Tom's birthday card I got him yesterday. Happy birthday, brother. Does this picture give you any ideas? Good, you're not as old as I thought. He's only 64, you know. That's enough. You better comb your hair.
Well, yeah.
There's the comb in there. You want to come in the rest of the house?
Today we're out at my farm. This is Sandy Newton talking now. Just wanted to show you a few things around where we live. My husband and I farm. We did some remodeling a year ago, or I shouldn't say a year ago. Last summer, August, we started. And there used to be a garage where you see our porch and our garage now. But it opened up to the other side. It opened up on the cattle yard side. We wanted to get away from some of the flies and some of the beautiful smell. So we turned it around. Now you drive up from the roadside. We just live a quarter of a mile out of Ghent. You older kids from VandenBroeke remember that you used to go to Ghent to get to my folks or to Grandma and Grandpa Keepers. Okay? The cold and windy Memorial Day weekend out here on our farm. We usually have about 400 head of beef cattle that we finish out, but about half of them have been sold already. So we just have a very few left. This is our cattle yard. These are some of the beef cattle that we're ready to ship off one of these days. Hopefully the price will stay good. We've been pretty lucky with raising beef cattle. Not raising them, but fattening them. This is the other side of our house now. This is where we used to come in, where that little garage window is where our main garage door used to be. There used to also be an opening into the basement there. So you can see we're kind of turned around. This is our little porch then. My kitchen. This is Gary, my husband. This came from feeding those cattle that we saw earlier. I realized I hadn't taped over everything Mom had, so I'm going to add a little bit to this. We did this once before, way back in October, but it wasn't just real clear. So we decided before we mail it. This is inside of our house now. This is our family room. Put all new windows in this when we changed the house. We put siding on and put all new windows on the house and all fixed up in the bathroom upstairs while we had the windows tore out and stuff. This is my living room. It hasn't been all that long since we updated that too. It had been the same furniture since we lived in here, so we got a few new pieces and, you know, all the old stuff's got to go. Spends a lot of their time. That's Kim watching her dad and Josh shoot some baskets out here. That was one of the biggest goals of having our house changed around, was to be able to have a big basketball place. Their main love around here is basketball.
Vinnie Johnson!
And he misses.